What's going on, everybody? So this is my second mock draft. First one went with Romo Dunze at number one. This one I'm going to go with the more popular pick. As of right now, what it seems like is the LSU wide receiver Malik Nabers. Very fast, very quick off the line. Definitely can cause defenses troubles. Still a very good receiver as well, catching balls down the field. Probably still needs to work on his route running, but that's probably the easier thing to learn once you're in the NFL. Too bad he couldn't be learning from Keenan Allen. But yes, this guy has a lot of talent. I would still probably choose him over Marvin Harrison Jr. if both guys were still there. But yeah, you definitely gotta be trusting in some of the LSU wide receivers pretty late because they've had a pretty good track record in Jamar Chase recently and Justin Jefferson as well right before that. So yeah, hopefully this guy is the next big thing. In the second round in this mock, I ended up going with Jerzon Newton or Johnny Newton. He kind of usually gets selected late in the first round or early second, but luckily he did slide right to here in this part of the second round, and definitely very excited because I mentioned before that this was definitely one of my favorite players before he got injured. He still is, especially if you get him right here in the second round compared to having to use a first round pick on him. But yeah, ever since I knew the Chargers were picking that high, it kind of felt like they weren't going to be able to select him, which was tough news. But yeah, luckily here in this mock, able to get him, which is nice. I don't know why it's making like a weird shadow on my eyebrow. I do not have a unibrow, but yes, Newton is very physical down there, always breaks through that offensive line, making tackles for losses, can disrupt plays, whether it's a running or passing play. Definitely one of the better players. I liked him a lot the first couple games I saw him the past year or so, and then he just proved to be pretty great in the early part of last season. So yes, this is a big time get for that defensive line here in the second round in this mock draft. In the third round, I have the Chargers selecting the running back and Trey Benson from Florida State. Was probably the first or second best running back available in this year's draft, and I think he's very good, very fast, can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. He didn't probably have to do as much at Florida State, but he's proven enough while there that he could still do it on a consistent basis in the NFL. And yes, he's kind of like more of a one-cut guy, so if he just sees like the one hole, he's probably going to just take it or make one move and go. But either way, you still prefer that in the NFL compared to young guys who are always trying to go around and stuff because they're still used to doing that in college because of how fast they are. But in the NFL, you can't do that as much unless you're getting like a wind around like from a receiver and all that stuff. That's the normal play nowadays. But yes, this is definitely a very nice pick for the offensive side, in my opinion, in the third round. And then in round 4, I have them selecting a cornerback in Chris Abrams-Drain from Missouri. He's a really good player, especially from really good schools coming up now in the SEC from Missouri. He's not the best one, I think, Ennis Ringstraw Jr. is the probably better corner from this school this year, but he did pretty good, excuse me, on the other side as well, because he was obviously the one getting more targeted because nobody wanted to go against Rick Straw Jr., but he still held up his own, and they definitely, when it comes to the Chargers, need more depth at that cornerback position, so I think this is a nice place to get a cornerback. In the second, fourth round pick, I have them selecting a linebacker and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. from Clemson. I know he's a legacy. His father played in the NFL prior, but still a very good player. Probably isn't as fast or not the greatest coverage skills, but is still good enough at both to be able to be selected in the middle of the draft. In my opinion, he might even go higher just because of how good he is against the run with that speed, but I still like him a lot to be one of the future starting linebackers for the LA Chargers. In the fifth round, I have them selecting an interior offensive lineman, Mason McCormick from South Dakota State, who is maybe a little bit of a reach because he is from the Division II levels, but South Dakota State has been one of the better teams out there the past couple of years, winning a couple of championships out there too. And here he's an athletic offensive lineman, which is obviously the type of lineman that Jim Harbaugh likes to go after. So he could probably be a perfect guy. I don't know if he's exactly a center because it did say interior offensive lineman, but he'd definitely help you out at those guard positions. Or if he is athletic enough, as they say, he could probably play the tackle spot. You never know. And then in the 6th round, I have them selecting an edge in Jalix Hunt from Houston Baptist, which I believe is a Division III school, but he's definitely been jumping up mock drafts pretty recently because I guess a lot of people have been seeing how good he is on tape and in person in some of those workouts. So I'm at least trusting the draft tier of who is best available, and that is who they said. Don't really know a whole lot about him, but I do know his name is being talked about a bit more, which is nice. And then it came to their first round 7 picks. I have them selecting a safety in Trey Taylor from Air Force. So I don't know. I know a lot of infantry people who get drafted usually end up having to do a year or two of service maybe before they can go to the NFL. I know that was prior the case, but I don't know exactly if that is the case anymore. So this could be a future draft and stash type of guy to help out on a safety because you don't really technically need a guy to help you out at the safety position, but here he was the best available when it comes to safety, so I ended up going with him there. And in the final 7th round pick of this draft, I have them taking offensive tackle Nathan Thomas from Louisiana Lafayette. Once again, I don't know this player a whole bunch, but yes, I've seen his name come up in mock drafts late, so he must be pretty good at least to be able to get drafted this late. Most likely a pretty big guy. Hopefully he is athletic enough like a McCormick, but yes, this guy is more of the tackle spot, so he will be helping out on the outside. But either way, I think the first half of this draft is pretty great to get 2 players on both sides of the ball, in Malik Nabers as your receiver and Johnny Newton as your defensive lineman, 2 positions that you're definitely going to need to fill out as a high priority in this draft, and you get them in the first 2 picks. I think that's the best case scenario for my LA Chargers. So thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.